I'm Karen Rogers.
And I'm David Murphy. Tonight we take you on a magical tour of the Broadway musical Mary Poppins, flying into Philadelphia for a month-long run.
We'll show you how one of the most popular stories of all time went from page to stage.
Plus, a Philadelphia cast member takes us on an exclusive backstage tour and shows us everything from the wacky wigs to the wonderful wardrobe.
This is my monkey hat. You can see my ears.
We'll talk one-on-one with the biggest stars of the show and find out what it takes to be a member of this all-star cast.
And flourish and that flex. Flourishing.
And I try to transform into the practically perfect Mary Poppins. Let the magic begin. Hi everyone and welcome to Mary Poppins, a Backstage Pass.
The wildly popular Broadway musical is on a nationwide tour, and it's here at the Academy of Music from March 23rd to April 17th.
In just a few moments, we're going to treat you to that Backstage Pass we promised.
But first, a look at how The Nanny Who Came Out of Nowhere went from beloved children's books to one of the best movie musicals of all time to a high-flying Broadway sensation.
I thought it was amazing. All the effects were great and it was amazing. It blew me away.
The energy and everything like that was just wonderful.
The musical was great and the scenery was outstanding.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, we really loved it.
For nearly 7 decades, Mary Poppins has been captivating people of all ages. But how this fairy tale went from books to Broadway is a story in itself. The character was created by Pamela Travers, a British author who wrote a series of children's books about a snippy and somewhat vain nanny who came and went on the east wind.
When I was a child, I read the books over and over, and I just loved them.
So did Walt Disney's daughter. She's the one who convinced the master of animation that a fairy tale about a nanny with special powers would be a Hollywood hit.
Anything that's Disney is magic, you know? It just makes you feel good.
Disney approached Travers in 1938, but she rebuffed him, saying she'd seen too many books made into movies that turned out badly. Disney wooed Travers for 20 years before she finally agreed that Mary Poppins and her magic carpet bag could set off for the silver screen.
Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way.
When Mary Poppins premiered in August of 1964, the movie and its musical score were an instant smash.
Well, I grew up with Mary Poppins myself. I'm not that old, even though the gray hair might show it, but it's fun. It was just the music and everything.
For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
I danced to the song in my basement for years when I was little. Knew all the songs.
Lauded as one of the best movie musicals of all time, it earned a stunning 13 nominations at the 1965 Academy Awards and took home 5 statues. It was the biggest Oscar night in Disney history. "40 years later, the timeless classic hit Broadway's New Amsterdam Theatre after a 2-year run in London's West End. The show was such a success, it recouped its initial investment in just 52 weeks. And in 2009, the high-flying Mary Poppins went on tour, bringing the magic of Disney to audiences across the nation.
It's the same thing we knew when we were kids, but it's better. It's more fun.
Every song, I smiled, and it was just like a bright, and it was fun.
Practically perfect in every way.
While Pamela Travers was highly critical of the movie adaptation, she did like Walt Disney's choice of Julie Andrews for the role of Mary Poppins.
And I love Julie Andrews, you know that, right? Well, it was her very first movie role. It's kind of hard to believe. She won Best Actress honors at both the Oscars and the Golden Globes.
That's pretty impressive. So, what's it take to put on a musical like Mary Poppins?
It is crazy backstage. I mean, for this to go on without a hitch, Backstage is as well choreographed as the actors on the stage.
Well, before coming to Philadelphia, the show was in Boston.
So that's where we went for a behind-the-scenes tour. This is the part of the show no one ever gets to see. We are backstage. You see all the props, the guys working around the clock. And this is Elizabeth Earley, our Philadelphia girl, who's going to be our host today. Elizabeth starts our tour in wardrobe. at all these clothes just lined up everywhere.
Yes, and there's such an order to it all. The men are on the left here, and the women are on the right.
And speaking of men on the left, where's Geoffrey? Come on over here, Geoffrey.
Geoffrey is also from Philadelphia. Both he and Elizabeth are what's known as swings, which means they must be prepared on a moment's notice to step in for any other member of the ensemble.
I believe there's 9 different women, that you'll go on for, and there's 13 different men, which means that we have to have costumes for all of them.
Geoffrey plays everything from a dapper doorman to a pan, half goat, half man, to a giant bear or a life-sized bunny.
Oh, that's so cute.
Right on.
In the fast-paced, energetic show, costume changes are super quick. Dressers stand just off stage, and Geoffrey sometimes has as little as 30 seconds to transform from one character to the next.
Quickly, if I had to change into
Spin. All right.
into my pink one.
Let's see how fast you can do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
And I'm pink.
Next, we sneak a peek into Elizabeth's closet.
And look at this, the amount of layers, and I will have, there's 3 layers in this alone. You've got little butt pad to make a period, yes.
Mary Poppins is set in Edwardian London, and in keeping with the fashion of the time, all of the women's dresses have a little extra bump in the rump.
It's what we call a butt pad, lovingly call a butt pad.
Just what you always wanted, a little more cushion on your butt.
a little more cushion.
This is the dress Elizabeth wears for the uber-popular supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. While the bustle may look sweet enough to eat, this is one heavy frock to dance in.
It probably took some practice to get used to that, right?
Yeah, it does, and you're in your high heels too, but...
I'll tell you what, I thought I had a little junk in my trunk.
On that note, we head to hair, where Elizabeth introduces us to Scooter Mortimer, the master of all of the show's wigs.
The maintenance of the wig, it depends on the wig. This Mary Poppins wigs, for example, it takes quite a bit.
Now, this doesn't look like Mary Poppins to me.
It's gonna be Mary Poppins.
It's gonna be,
Trust
huh?
me. It's gonna be.
There's a lot of magic that has to happen to make Mary Poppins.
That happens here.
There are about 80 wigs in the musical. It's Scooter's job to whip them into their various shapes and styles and dye them all kinds of outrageous colors.
This is not one of yours, but...
No, it's not, but
it's a house favorite, though.
It's definitely a house favorite, without a doubt.
Can I borrow this for Halloween? My kids would just be over the moon with this.
Remember that yellow tart dress Elizabeth showed us in wardrobe? This is the yellow wig that goes with it, and Elizabeth says it's definitely her favorite.
Yellow is the color in life that I will never ever wear. And I love the color, but it's pretty hysterical because I'm yellow from head to toe in Super Cal.
Along with the wigs, there are dozens of jaunty women's hats.
Oh my gosh, whose hat is that? Is that?
This is one of the posh ladies.
I love it. I've always wanted to be a posh lady. My dream is coming true.
And then there's a little veil that goes down like that.
Yes. I've never worn a veil like this
There you
before.
go.
Do I look like a posh lady?
You are a posh lady.
I am a posh lady. Anything can happen here.
From the wig room, we head way down under.
So now we're in the orchestra pit, and with me, Daniel Bowling, the music director and conductor.
Daniel went to school at Philadelphia's Curtis Institute of Music and is brand new to the Mary Poppins crew.
What's the greatest thing about working on this show?
Oh my goodness. Well, we've got, of course, a huge number of iconic songs, Academy Award winning songs.
But is that a more challenging thing too?
It
Because
is.
everybody expects it, they love it.
I think it is more
waiting for
challenging, and you have to deliver those songs in a new way and a fresh way.
To add to the challenge, Daniel and 60 musicians are crammed into a tiny space directly under the stage where they can't actually see anything.
Well, I've got a telephone here that keeps me in touch with my stage management team. And I've got a little monitor here that keeps me in touch with the stage a little bit more closely.
On stage is our next stop, where we meet Jimmie Lee Smith, the man who makes sure that Disney magic happens night after night.
And can you just tell us all the secrets of them, please?
Well,
how does it happen? How does he walk up the wall? How does she fly? And how does she pull out all that stuff out of the bag? I mean, it really happens in front of your eyes.
Right in front of your eyes. It's the Disney magic.
It is Disney magic.
I could tell you, but they'd have to kill me.
Jimmie did tell us that all the scenery moves on radio-controlled tracks, that the crew gives actors their marks with color-coded LED lights on the floor, and the house that George and Winifred Banks call home, it's fully automated, and for good reason. It weighs 11,000 pounds.
We have an automation technician, and it comes down the tracks. We cue the automation technician, he activates the computer, and the house moves.
Moving the whole show is a bit more challenging. It takes 14 trucks to haul all of Mary Poppins' trunks from city to city, but for the actors and crew alike, the work comes with a huge payoff.
At the end of the show, when you see the little smiling faces, and you see the older smiling faces out there.
Right.
You know.
Night to night, to bring a Broadway show to a city that doesn't have the opportunity to go to that Broadway show,
Right.
we get to explore the country, which is kind of the best of all worlds.
Yeah.
Of course, both Elizabeth and Geoffrey are really looking forward to bringing the show to their hometown and sharing it with their family and friends.
And they've got a lot to be proud of. The musical has won 25 theater awards, including the Tony, the Olivier, which is Britain's version of the Tony, and London's Evening Standard.
When we come back, can you spell
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
S-U-P-E-R.
I give it a shot, and a little later we meet the real Mary Poppins and other members of this blockbuster cast.